Welcome to Subramani. Recently, when Prashant Jain retired, sorry, many people have written about Prashant Jain's retirement, and one of them was Aarti Krishnan, and she wrote in, I think, in Hindu Business Line or Prime Investor. And I read that article. So there is one thing which she had said that she had compared, she had just said in passing that other fund managers like Warren Buffett and first of all, yes, it is Buffett, it's not buffet. Buffet is food. Buffett is the name of the man who's one of the best investors in the world. So we'll first settle that. She had said fund managers like Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is not a fund manager. So remember that. Warren Buffett has one huge advantage. He can afford to look bad in the short run, and he knows it. He does not have FOMO. He does not make his decision based on what the media will think or how the media will roast him or any of those things. So Warren Buffett can stand on the sidelines and watch the world go. He does not have FOMO. He does not have to prove anything to anybody. In the year 2000, he invested in the bonds of Amazon, and he spoke very highly of Jeff Bezos, and he said this guy will do a good job and great, and therefore I'm investing in the bonds, which means he had looked at the balance sheet, he had looked at the analysis, and he had then decided to buy the bonds. It did not attract him to buy the equities, right? I'm not getting into right or wrong, but this is what he did. After that, the Amazon shares did very well. So if Buffett had bought, he would have definitely benefited if he had bought it in 2000. But it didn't bother him. He never worried about what others thought. Now, is it possible for a Prashant Jain or a Naren Shankaran to be like that? It's very, very difficult because they are driven by NAV. And there will be people questioning them, trustees, the board, the management, the managing director, the other colleagues, the IFA, the investor. Everybody will say, oh, this was so obvious that you should buy Coal India at 19 rupees or 119 rupees. Why didn't everybody buy? But it's only Naren and Prashant who bought. The others did not buy. At that point in time, there were shares like Coal India available at a PE of I think 6 or 7 and a dividend yield of 10%. Dividend yield of 10% in a country where the gilt was at 5.5 or 6%, right? Well, it was available to you and me, and we didn't buy. But Tata Power was available at 30 rupees with a 5% dividend yield. We didn't buy, maybe we bought, maybe we didn't buy. I remember buying Coal India at 119, I remember buying Tata Power at 30. Now these are easy decisions to boast, right? But the question is, when you are managing so many people's money and you are a fund manager, remember Buffett is a businessman, he manages his company, he couldn't care a damn whether you bought, whether you sold. It is like managing a listed fund, which is a close-ended fund. There is nothing you can do. Yes, people will sell, there will be somebody who will buy, but you don't have to worry about the cash flows. Now, if you are running an open-ended fund, the chances are people will push you, and you will have to look good in the short run also. That is the huge difference between a Prashant Jain Naren versus a Buffett, because Buffett is running his own business. Buffett is comparable more to Mukesh Ambani, because Mr. Mukesh Ambani can today get into a new business and people can wonder why is he putting 1.5 lakh crores into it or 2 lakh crores into it. Recently he's bought the 5G thing, right? So he can do it because he need not worry on a day-to-day basis about what is happening to his share price. Whereas a fund manager has to worry about that. More importantly, a fund manager cannot control what the management will do. If they like it, they stay invested. If they don't like, they just get out. Whereas a businessman like Buffett can buy and sell. But the most important thing is the mental makeup of Buffett does not, he does not really mind looking bad in the short run. He does not mind sitting on cash when the whole world thinks there's a screaming opportunity to buy. He was not buying during COVID's depths, right? He didn't know what was happening, so he said, okay, let me just wait. So he had the ability to wait, no FOMO of saying, oh my God, I had so many billions, I just wish I had bought that. He bought airline and he felt uneasy with it, with the valuation perhaps or something, and got out of it. So see the advantages which a retail investor has. You are not answerable to anybody. You can take a long-term view. You can take a view that this company is good, this company is giving good dividend yield, and I will hold on, or I will hold this in my mother's portfolio because my mother pays lesser tax than I do. Sorry. And I have a 10-year view on Coal India because I bought it at 119, and I know over a 10-year period also if it does well, that's fine, simply because the dividend yield is there to protect me during this journey, right? So if Warren Buffett felt that the Amazon bonds were safe, the guy was good, and the guy will return my money, and therefore he was getting a good rate. What stopped him from buying equity? That's very difficult to say, but the fact is it did not bother him, nor does it bother him today, saying, oh my God, on that day he could have bought Amazon. That does not matter. You have to think on that day with the data that you have, and then take a decision, and not kill yourself for taking a good or a bad decision based on results, right? So the question is, at that yield, was the debt attractive? Yes. Did Mr. Buffett put his money? Yes. Did he get his repayment and all that? Yes. So that is what you have to answer, not a question of if you had bought equity shares of Amazon, what would have happened? It didn't bother him, right? And he is the investor. Why should it bother us? Why should we judge people on the basis of result? We should judge people on the basis of effort, and on that day what he or she or the whole market was thinking. The ability to stand out of the crowd, not worry about what the people will think. Maybe you are very early to a party, like Prashant Jain says, or whether you say this is my conviction and I will hold on to it. All those things, it requires some ability, some stamina to stand there when the whole world is judging you. And remember, you can do that only when you are managing your own company and you don't really care much about what others think. Could Berkshire Hathaway have done very good buybacks when the market was at its depth? Maybe. Have they missed that opportunity? Maybe. But that is how he operates. He does not have to worry about what the media says about him or anything. So today, if Prashant Jain is on his own, maybe he is investing his own money, maybe he is helping somebody else invest their money, he will be able to manage it much better than what he would be able to do under so much of public glare and scrutiny, where the board of directors, the MD, everybody is looking. So flipping it on the other side, how much of the result of Mr. Prashant Jain, that's another mistake which people are making. People are seeing how much return the fund has got. When you are comparing for the investor, that's a good thing to do, but when you are comparing the fund manager, please add back the asset management charges, because he has achieved maybe 21% or 21.5%. You've taken away 2.5% as management charges, management fees, maybe 2%, and therefore you're saying he's got 19%, which is very good compared to the Sensex. But when you're comparing a fund manager performance, the fund management expenses have to be added back. If you're comparing it to a TRI, if you're comparing it to the Sensex, it's okay not to add it back because you're getting dividends, and from that you're paying the charges. So that's still okay, right? So this is also a very important thing. But think of the support Mr. Deepak Parekh or Mr. Milind Barve or this whole team gave him when Prashant Jain was a youngster, maybe 2000 or 1997, 98, 2002, 2003. He had not established himself the way he's established. Today he's a Prashant Jain. It's like Sachin Tendulkar at 16 was very different from Sachin Tendulkar at 40, right? Here he was an established fund manager. So today whatever Prashant does, the world wants to copy, but look at the conviction that he had or Naren had with his portfolio, because I still remember people them saying that when the market, there are things available at 40 PE and some available at 6 PE. It's fairly obvious as to what we should be buying. It is only time which will say. So time has stood very well by Naren and by Prashant and many other fund managers, but these are the names which come to mind, saying over a long period of time I have to look good, so it does not matter that I look bad in the short run. So which means what people say, no FOMO, there is no worry about whether there will be a run on the money or people will criticize. You have to conquer all that. It's easy for you and me to conquer it as an individual. And I think now Prashant must be having fun managing his own money, where he does not have to answer anybody as to why he took the decision. I'm sure his personal portfolio will going forward make much better returns than HDFC Top 200 or Prudence or whatever their new names are. Thank you.